Right, today's exploration and trail clear up is the new approach to Smoke Mountain. That's where I'm heading. As you can see, it's just literally sunrise o'clock. Creek's still flowing, which is not flowing too bad at all. A lot less than it was the other day. Right, first things first. Get here, you have to cross this bridge. And just off to my left is an amazing meadow. So it's quite the road into here. If you've never driven this road before, it's quite an interesting road, that's for sure. Yeah. As you can see, it's sunrise o'clock. I'm heading that way. So we had a few vehicles down in here. I think I saw some cows up the valley. About 6 kilometres down that way, in one of the clearings, I saw a black bear crossing the area there, but he was heading in the other direction, so not too worried about that. Right, when you get to here, that's the road in. The bridges and parking over there, that's Ware Creek PRA, over in there. And where I'm heading is straight up through that valley over there. There's a gate here, make sure you close the gate. I think at the far end of the valley I did see some cattle up in there. Now do bear in mind that this is cattle country, so always make sure you close the gates and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to head on up here and do some more on the way. What an amazing day. Yeah. Right, so this is the gate. Make sure you do keep it closed. Yeah, it's a cattle boundary. Cattle boundary, keep gate closed at all times. And thanks in the top corner. Nicely done. Oh yeah, I see some cows over there in the distance. Now you have to watch these cows because they're too smart at times. They really aren't. Right, so always make sure you close the gates. Well, the cows are already doing a runner. Right, gates closed, just make sure that's all good. Yeah. What a glorious day, eh? Take some more of this. That hill over there, up on the top there, I believe that's Death's Head. That's another trail that people do, but since they logged it out, there isn't much of a trail up there. It's more just to find your way up the hill. If you park at the parking lot up there, there's a couple of big boulders, and if you head between the boulders and straight up the hill, there's a deer over there too. Head between the boulders and up the hill. Just keep going up, and that's pretty much where you've got to head. And you'll end up on top of that hill over there. Got a nice view from up there. Oh, there goes the cows. 900 miles an hour. They're like, what the hell is this thing coming across here? The only problem with the cows is they can chew the trail up. Now, I don't have my welly boots on today because I'm planning on going up some steep hill. Climbing steep hill in welly boots, nah, not fun. So this is the beginning of All Smoke. It's all been rerouted because the bottom end of the trail, if you look in one of my other videos there, trail 57, it's a bit messed up in the bottom there. There is a slightly dry bit that I showed, and you can cut across and you can still go up 58A and 58B. That's not a problem. It's however, this is the new route. Tony and Jill sent me a map of the new route, so I'm going to scout out the whole thing and see what it looks like. Right, I will head on up that way. That clear cut block that you can see in the middle there, that's roughly where I'm going up through the middle of there. Well, I found the cows. They're all up in here. And they're all exactly where I want to go. I've got to go through that little gap up there. So let's see how friendly these guys are. They're usually pretty good. They're usually more worried about me than I am about them. Just got to watch it, don't stand on your feet. They'll all start moving in a minute. A little bit all frustrated. Once they realise that you're not bothering them, they don't bother. One good thing about seeing a group of cows like this, you know, there's no bears around. Yeah. These guys won't tolerate the bears. Bears ain't coming nowhere near this lot. Right, put this away until I get up through the next clearing. They're all pretty vocal because they don't like me being here, I guess. I ain't bothering them. Right, you can go back to eating the grass. Amazing how quickly they'll mow off all these dandelions too, I tell you. They're kicking up a storm over there now. They're all sitting there watching. The thing is, cows don't know what you are. They're used to seeing people. But like I was saying just now, one good thing about having all the cows over there is you know there's no bears around. They're kicking up a storm over there. They'll forget I'm here in about 10 minutes and carry on eating the grass again. Right. So, at the far end of the meadow now, which is about 1 kilometre in or whatever it is, I think this corner actually measures about 1 kilometre. Listen to them. Hundreds of them. Yeah. Oh well. It brings back the memories, that does. Yeah. No. So, far end of the trail here, you'll get to this corner. There's a dead tree down across here. Hey, look, somebody's been here. The porta potty's gone. When I came the other week, there was a porta potty up in here and a campfire. It's usually the ranchers getting set up ready for the cows. They have to go around and make sure the fences are good and all that kind of stuff. Right, so when you get to here, all the cows are there and they're being very, very vocal. Yeah, right. So that's the campsite where they had the porta potty there the other week. There's the shadow people. And where I'm going to go, the beginning of Allsmoke, the new route, up through there. This is part of the old 57, I guess this would be. It's off up this way. And up here it kind of turns into a chewed up cut block for a little bit. And I can tell you now the cows are back in here, it'll get chewed up even more. Cows do keep the roots open though, so we'll give them that. And this was very wet when I came up here the other day, so I have to say this is actually drier than it was the other day. Very easy to find your way up through here. Like I say, on this side, see all the cows have been up through here. Chewed it all up a bit. Now, when you get to here, there's a turn off coming up here in a minute. When I get to the turn off, I'll show you where that is. Alright, I've just come that way. You kind of follow this edge up. It's a little wet in places, but certainly not drier than it was the other week, that's for certain. Way drier. And you'll come to this corner. There's a couple of blue marks on the trees there. There's a Spray Lake sign there, or what do they call it now? I can't think what it's called now. Western something or other now they call it. But, and then down through here, this is where you want to go. A few hoof prints in here, so I'm just making sure I don't get a wet foot right at the beginning of my day. So you'll come down into the trees here. There is talk of making a drier route through there, but that's all tree hopping and what have you. Not sure that's going to work out too well through there, because there's a lot of deadfall through there, and this piece along here is already a well-established trail. You can head on down here. This is trail 57, also goes to Allsmoke. Side net 57 and Allsmoke is this way. Yeah, I'm going to head along this way and see how wet it is compared to the other day. I can already tell you that the bit I've already done is way drier, so I will continue along here. Nice and cool in here, I can tell you. It's going to be a hot day today, so I don't fancy walking through that lot. So through here it is. On I go. Alright, just come that way. This is part of the old 57. Just heading along here. It's a double-edged sword. On the map they sent me, they were talking about maybe a new possible drier route through there, but I've walked through all that deadfall in there. And you've either got all the slash out in the cut block, which is just through those trees, you've got all this deadfall to hop over, or you've got this bit along here. And it's actually not that bad. A few little trees to hop over, and that's about it. So this is part of the old 57, and when I get to the next turn off, I'll show you where I am. Right, so just going along the trail. This is where I was the other week. I cut this one out of here the other week. Now, this is where I'm going to turn off, because down there, let's get right to the corner, down there is the old 57, and you can go that way. It's a little bit more root fine and a little bit wetter in places, but it follows the creek. It's actually a very nice walk along there. And in the Kananaskis guide, this is the part where it says go along the trail, descend a hill, round a corner, and it's straight for a while. This is that corner, right? So you can go down there, that's 57. Where I'm going to do is turn off in here. There's a short bit of turn off in here. Now if you look on Google Maps, this will show this as a big crescent shaped grass area basically. There's a little short piece that joins the two. That's the bit I'm going through now. And then what you'll find, this is the big crescent shaped grass area. That hill in front of me on Google Maps, that shows that as still forest. As you can see, it's not. And the new route for All Smoke is basically going to follow the side of this for a little ways, and I'll do some more at the next turn off. Right, this is the big crescent shaped meadow that it shows on Google Maps there. That is the Wazza Forest, and right over there, this is the end of that meadow piece where you'll kind of come into a group of aspens. What you're going to see is over there, there's a big single very nice conifer. It's got a bit of orange tape in it. You're going to head over to there. That's the next crossing point, and then all the way up through this cut block, Spray Lakes or Western, whatever they are now, actually left a whole bunch of trees up in here, cut off about 10 feet tall. Now if you're doing trail 57, get off mosquito, if you're doing trail 57 and you want to do a more scenic drier route, you can actually go straight along there and just follow this bank all the way along, and you can do basically the whole valley without ever setting foot in the bottom. But if up through there, see that orange piece of tape? Up through the gap there, there's a whole bunch of cut off trees. I'll show you those when we get there. Right, I got to the corner where the tape is. Get off mosquito. I warn you now, there's quite a lot of mosquitoes up in there. And up through the trees, up through here. Step over these logs. There's a bent over, what's the name here? Alder. And as you can see, this is where the cut logs start. So this is actually not a bad marker point. Yep. Step over that one. That's a big one. Underneath the arch tree. And this is where the cut off logs start. Let me just get up to there. Now, there's not really a trail up through here as such. It's more a case of just following the posts. But there isn't much slash in here, as you can see. Yeah, so there's the posts. There's the clearing. What an amazing day, look at that. Oh, I will take that. That's nice, eh? Yes, so a whole bunch of these cut off posts, and they basically follow this cut block right across and up the other side. Just gonna head up to this one. As more people use it, better trails up here. And All Smoke is off up that way. There's a ridge up there. I'm going to follow the ridge all the way up. This one here is Gleason's Hill, and I'm going that way. It's gonna be a hot day, I think. Right, you keep moving, otherwise the mozzies will catch up with me. I'm heading that way. Right, so I'm coming across a cut block. Very easy to follow these cut off trees. West Fraser, that was the name of the people I was trying to remember. Right, just for reference, anybody that doesn't know this area, 57 runs along the bottom of there. Down in the bottom of these trees there's a gully in there, like a little side creek. And the old 58A, which is still there, runs up the right hand side, the other side of the creek, runs all, it's an old road basically, it goes all the way up there to the cut line, which is up in those trees over there. What this does is basically sweep up across the corner of the cut block. Nice row of trees, easy to follow. Somebody's already put up a whole bunch of flagging, so that actually makes it really easy to follow. And then hey presto, head on up through the trees over that way. So by now you've come like crescent shaped up through the cut block, following the old posts along. You'll come to some flagging in the trees here, and instead of the original trail kind of went off up there, there's a trail that goes up there onto the cut line, and then you have to come back down. What this does is basically just cuts this little corner off. So I think this is on the new map that they've done, this is labelled as best new route. So it this will just cut across. The creek is down in the bottom of there, I can hear the creek. And then I'm just going to head up here, and I should intersect the cut line just up here somewhere. I'll do some more when I get there. Right, so you're going to emerge from that little short walk through there. You come out to this grass area. The creek is off to my left hand side down there. Going back out to another grassy area, and we should intersect the cut line here. So instead of going all the way back up the hill and back down again to get to this line, basically what that corner does is just cut this piece off. So somewhere here, a little bit tufty grass, looks like up across there is a cut line. So I'm just going to head out across this piece and see if I can find it. Is that marked up easy enough? Yes it is. Yeah. Sun hasn't got to this yet, so the grass is wet, so the bottom of my trousers are now wet. Right, once I get to the cut line, I'll do some more. Right, apologies for the battery change. So I've just worked my way along there, basically followed this side of the mess along into the trees. I'm gonna, rather than going up there, I'm gonna cut through this way, I think, because I think I see a bit of tape over in there. I will cut through this way. I must be very close to that cut line, so I'll cut through here and see what I can find. Well, having completely lost the plot in that cut block mess, what I've done is I've bushwhacked through the forest, through that lot, across to this trail. This one here is the old 58A. So I'm going to follow this uphill. Couldn't see any trace of the cut line, because the unfortunately when they get in and log it, the cut lines and that all vanish, so navigation marks disappear. All the tape vanished as well through there, so I'm going to follow this side of the creek up. The creek's just down the bottom in there, so I'm going to follow this side of the creek up, and it should take me to where I need to be. Well, I've just come up through a very steep piece of forest. I found this nice open area. Still no sign of this cut line, but I know by how far I've walked, I must have missed it. But I haven't seen anything like a cut line. The trouble is, up in here, they haven't been used for a long time, so they get pretty overgrown. Oh, got some big leaves. See the big leaves? Means it's wet. So I will wander through the nice wet patch rather than going around the outside, because that looks nice and dry. So the sun is off to my left, so I'm heading roughly west at the moment. Doesn't really matter where this comes out. I've completely lost the plot on this route for wall smoke. Not even 100% certain where I am, but I know I'm finding some amazing places. Look at that. That's nice. Yeah, that's well worth a walk. If nothing else, it's an amazing walk through the forest. So I'm going to head this way for a bit. And I could walk this way for another 6 kilometres, it doesn't matter. I'll just end up back on a road that I know where I am. But I was hoping to find the ridge up Allsmoke, but That cut block has really messed all that right up. That's very hard to find now. Right, I'm going to head that way and see where it takes me. Right, after some considerable bushwhacking, I found something that's a ridge. The sun is where it should be. It's on my back. I found a ridge, but there's so many little trees now I can't see jack out through the trees. Keep seeing little glimpses of mountains, but I can't actually see what they are. I have found absolutely no trace of humans whatsoever. Absolutely none. Not a blaze, not a flag, not a nothing. So I'm just going to keep following this ridge for a while. But, my way back down is obviously follow the ridge back down. I know the river's at the bottom, so I'm going to follow it because it's a very nice forest to wander through. It's very quiet, as you can imagine, and see where it takes me. I have no clue where it's going to take me, but I won't know if I don't go and look. And this is how you find cool stuff. Look at that, listen to the wind. I may not have a clue where I'm going. I can tell you now, I've ended up in a very nice place. Wake, road and short. Listen to that wind. I'm on the right ridge, I know I am. Where did that wind come from? Right, watch out for trees, people. I could hear that coming as I was in the forest. Now I know that the ridge for all smoke runs up along, oh, that might be it over there. I think what I've done is I've basically cut the corner off. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get away from that big old tree there. There's a big old tree there that's pretty rough. Let me get away from that. Oh shit, rocks, Batman. Don't ask me where that came from. But around here you have to be careful of the size of that tree. Yeah. Wind can turn up out of nowhere. So I'm just going to clear these trees. I'm going to get out here in this open bit. Tops of these trees can snap out pretty good. Now I have a sneaking suspicion that the trail I want is actually up the top of that ridge. But I don't know if I can be bothered to walk all the way up there, to be quite honest. I've never found this. Wow, look at this. I know as you head up All Smoke, which is, oh hang on, I see a mountain over there. Oh, which one's that? Oh, I can see a mountain. Let me head up over here. As always, I do have my compass, but I do consider that to be cheating. Oh hang on, that's Blue Rock over there right in the distance. That's Blue Rock. Okay, so if that's Blue Rock, that's the ridge 58 something runs up over that way. 58B I think runs up over that way, in which case 58A is along the top of that bloody ridge. Well, that's kind of a pain, isn't it? So I've got a choice. I can walk all the way down this hill and then all the way back up that other side, which is actually way steeper than it looks, or I can kind of cut up across there. I don't know. We can see some cloud building around here, right over there. You have to be really careful this time of the year because the forecast will show you clear sunshine and you'll think, oh great, I'm in for an amazing day, and then the storms will flow in. Let me tell you, you don't want to be out here in a thunderstorm. It's bloody dangerous. Yeah. We get some pretty violent storms, so I have to rescue my hat because it's getting flying around in the wind. It's rescued. Now I have to make a decision. Oh yeah, there we go. There's Blue Rock and all that lot over there. I can't remember what the other one's called. I know that's the end of Blue Rock right there. So that lighter coloured piece in the middle there, if you follow that up, that's 58B. So 58A is actually at the top of that hill. So I'm going to take a wander off up through there, A, because there's a well-worn trail, and B, it's way less steep than that. I'd rather walk a little bit further than crazy steep. So, but look at that for a view, isn't that nice? I'll take that any day of the week. Right, on I go. So I've gained a bit of elevation. I'm currently stood on the side of a steep hill, so I'm trying not to fall down it. It's that steep. Right, over there, that's Missing Link Mountain. Behind it is all blue rock. So I am on the right ridge. If I'm too far down it, I've got to get back up the top of there. I've just come all the way up that lot, and not as young as I used to be for some reason. I don't know why. I don't remember signing up for this getting old puffed out crap. But I can tell you now, it catches up with you. But when you stop at a place like this and you listen to the wind in the trees, and you know for absolute certainty you are the only idiot stood on the side of this mountain, it's quite something. It's quite something. Those big clouds that I could see are actually not as big as I thought they would be. Now I've got up clear of the tree line. Comes the next lot of wind, so I need to continue up there. I'll try and hold it. If I hold the camera level, I might give you some idea of how steep that is, because like that it doesn't look very steep, but that is actually horizontal that way. So I'm literally on the balls of my feet going up here. I'm literally teetering on falling down this bloody hill. It's that steep. So right, I will continue on up it now I've had a rest, and do some more in a moment. Well, I've ascended a fair way up through the, what's name? Well, it's deadfall in there. I think the cut line I was looking for is that one there. It goes in the right direction. That was so overgrown, couldn't follow that at all. But isn't that a magical spot, eh? I think I'm going to follow the edge of this grass up a bit, because in here there's quite a lot of deadfall. I'm still doing a fair bit of up, but I can tell by this rock that I'm on the ridge edge. So I'll continue up in here for a little bit. I have to stop and get that view every now and again. Right, nature's food supply, chocolate almonds everywhere. Look. Yeah, just don't eat those. There's a very clear trail there now, looking down through there. So yeah, I came up, I circumvented the bottom of the ridge. I completely missed the cut line. I've no idea how. It must be really overgrown. So I will head down this ridge on the way back. I will follow this ridge all the way down because I know where it goes. Yeah, it ends up at Ware Creek. If you keep going downhill from where I am now, you will end up in Ware Creek. So I'm going to go up there, get out this tree line, see what else I can see. Now I don't think this, I can actually get blown off the side of this hill. That wind is actually a lot stronger than it looks. If you look down in the mountains down there, you can see what looks like dust off the dirt roads. It's not, it's actually pollen off of the pine trees now. Billions and billions of it. Literally my boots are covered in it. Boots are covered in pollen. So that's why I came up. So that's why I went round. I didn't want to come up that. Yeah. So yes, that hill over there, that's Gleason's Hill. You might find a flag on top of that hill, he says knowingly. Over there, that is Missing Link. That would be very popular on a day like today. There'd be loads of people because there is a parking lot a few kilometres down that way. And that's Missing Link all the way along there. I can't think what that mountain's called over there. Like I say, that's all blue rock and all that lot along there. Green Mountain. I can't remember what these ones are called over here. Shangalashi's over the back of here somewhere. Can't see it because there's a tree in the way. Yeah, that's Gleason's Hill. That's the other ridge. This is where 58B comes up through there and brings you up. All Smoke Top is up over there somewhere. But I'm going to head up round in the corner here and see what I can find. But I'll tell you now, makes it worthwhile, doesn't it? Yeah. Ooh, listen to that wind. Right, let me get back in the trees. It's less windy in there. Right. Well, I've run out of up. This is the top of the up. And this is about as far as I want to go, actually. a pile of rocks there. Somebody's been here. And All Smoke Mountain, I think, is that one through there. But I've no wish to lose most of the game that I've got here now, and then head up the other one. No wish to do that at all. So let me get back out these trees. Oh, there is a cliff in front of me. There's a big drop off down there. I don't know what this hill is. I have no idea. But, there's a big rock drop off there, so I ain't going too much further. And just the other side of those trees there's a big cliff piece. So, well, it's at the end of a ridge somewhere. No idea where. Don't really care where, to be quite honest, because this is actually a very nice walk up through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this ridge back down, because I sure as hell ain't going the way I came, which was basically along the bottom of that lot. Not going to do that. Not sure what this ridge is. I will look it up when I get home. I've taken some bearings off some of the mountains, so I can just do 2 intersects and I'll know exactly where I am. And hey presto. I'll tell you what, I didn't find where I was going, which is up over there, but I did find this, and this is amazing. Yeah, I'm convinced this is completely the wrong bloody hill, but I don't really care. There's several spines that run up through here. See, there's that one over there, there's one up through the middle there. That's Gleeson Hill, so I know down in the bottom where I'm pointing there, that's where the big meadows are. So this is coming up, like I say, 58B or whatever it is. Yeah, and takes you up to Walk Smoke, which is over that way. But I'm currently stood on top of a small cliff. I can't see any easy way of getting down there, so I can't really do any decent pictures. Yeah, and that's as far as I'm going, because I have no wish to fall off this cliff. Yeah, but yes, what an amazing place. Let's see if I can get any kind of view out through this gap. Didn't spot this gap. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a big deadfall tree right at the top of the hill, so you can't really see much. So, oh, here we go. Oh, again, this is all rock here, so I'm going to be really careful. So, what have we got out there? Let's have a look. That looks like Forget-Me-Not. Hang on a minute. No. That's all the Quirk Creek area out there when they logged all that. So, if that's Quirk Creek, that must be Forget-Me-Not along there. So, way in the distance, that's looking out towards moose and all that. If that tree wasn't in the way, I'd probably be able to see moose. Let's see if I can get to this corner without killing myself. Where I'll be. Yeah, all that log bit out there, that's the back of Quirk. The far side of that valley over there, that's where you go into the Elbow Valley. So that could be, that piece right in the distance there, that could be part of the Nahi Ridge. Yeah, if that's Blue Rock, that's Forget-Me-Not. Opiri Ipan must be over there. So yeah, there's a big river I can see. You won't be able to see it on this camera, but there's a big river right down in the bottom of there that I can see. The river valley, that must be the Elbow River. Yeah. Huh. In which place that's Quirk Creek and all that crap out that way. That's all McLean Creek. That's where they did a bunch of logging and that in there the other year. And it, yeah. Oh, okay. That's quite a nice view out that way too. I should think from the top of All Smoke, which is that one over there, I should think you get an amazing view. But since I ain't going that way, I'm not going to. I will just accept this as my day trip. Head back down the mountain, see what I can find. What an amazing place. Right. This is a big grassy meadow bit that I came across on the way up here. I actually came up this, it was really steep. So needless to say, I ain't going back that way. Because coming up really steep hill is one thing. Going down really steep hill, I mean that's almost like if you fell, you would literally roll down that hill. That is steep. And I think right down in there, that's where on the way up I caught that really strong wind. There's a lot of pollen coming out the trees over there. I don't know if that shows up on the thing. I can see big clouds of it coming out over there, exactly there. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to side hill along this way a bit, slowly lose elevation, try and stay up on the top of this ridge as much as I can. I don't want to be going up and down, so There's quite a bit of deadfall down here, so I've had to come across a bit. But look at that for a view. Isn't that nice? I'll take that. No clue where I am. Don't really care where I am. I'm out in the mountains, so that's a good thing. And I'm on top of a mountain. Oh, there's a hawk or something like that. It's gone across there. Nice. Excellent. Right, I will continue on my way down to the bottom of this valley somewhere. Well, I can honestly say, as a trip to Allsmoke Mountain, this most definitely wasn't. Started off going in the right direction, but ended up coming up this ridge. And I found, as a result of that, an amazing meadow. I've got to look that up. I've got to see where that is. Amazing forest, nice breeze. You just don't get much better than this, really. My way back is somewhere back that way. And what I'm doing is slowly slide hilling and slowly disappearing down the hill. That big grass meadow that I came across and the strong winds is down that way. So I'm opting to stay a little bit higher and just wander my way down through the trees. As long as I'm slowly descending and heading just off to the sun, it should be good. I know the creek's in the bottom of here, so I ain't too worried about it. But yeah, I could stop being lazy and get my compass out, and then I'd know exactly where I am. But it's in my pack, and I really don't want to take my pack off again. So I'm going to continue that way. I've just stopped for a water break, and I'm going to continue that way. I'm not sure if that's going to come out in that picture. Look at that for a spider web. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to walk through there because that took a lot of work to make that. So, yes, so I'm still following this ridge down. I know I went up over the ridge on that side, so I'm going to follow it down this way. Just in a big grassy area, open area that way. I know I don't want to be that way. I need to be more straight down that way. So I will head down and see what I can find. Right, stop for a rest of what I call a navigation aid. All of this water in this particular valley that I'm in heads into the creek that I know I have to follow back to the main river. So any one of these little side chutes that you find, you follow them downhill, it'll take you to where you got to go. Just watch out for the wet patches because there's quite a few in there. So I know 100% I need to go that way now. Well, now, isn't that a bonus? I think this is the wet patch all down through here that I found on the way up here. So I will find out if it is, because if it is over in this corner, I should find track from where I came up this morning. Oh, it's wet in here. Earlier part of the video I remember saying when you find big leaves, it always means it's wet. And over through there I think is where I went. Which means, yeah, which means we've got bear crap in it. Yeah, which means I've got to go straight across here. Now, I don't normally do this when there's big leaves, because I have done it before and suddenly ended up knee deep in crap and swamp and all kinds of crap. So I will head across this way. Oh, watch out for the holes. I've got a feeling when I went up that way. Yeah, you should see the pollen storms in here. Bloody pollen everywhere. Right, so I'm going to head across this bit, get back into these trees, and keep following that creek downhill basically. Yeah, let's get out the sun. The sun's actually quite warm. I think it's supposed to be up in the 20s today. I'm pretty sure that that is the creek that I crossed, and that's the open bit that I found, and I went around that corner. I'll find out in the video when I get home. Either way, my way back I know is going to be that way, because I'm heading pretty much dead into the sun now. Yeah, so that's my way back. It was quite weird, the things you find in the forest. I'm walking through here and I haven't found much trace of anybody. And just back up that way I found a tree that was about as round as this one, but it had obviously been stood up next to the trail at some stage, and there is a trail down through here, it goes somewhere, and it got all the little branches cut off, little saw cuts. So I'm thinking, this clearly goes somewhere. This could actually be the trail I'm looking for, but I didn't traverse the meadows around. If I'd have traversed the meadows around, because that's where the trail kind of ends, there is a little cairn there where the trail ends, and I did find that. So I know when I read Bob Spurko's version of going up that mountain, it says he would have basically taken the grass as opposed to walk through the forest. But the wind's quite something. That grass bank, I guess if you're as fit as that guy, it doesn't really matter. But when you're not as fit as that guy, it's a good idea to take the easy route. So yeah, so I found myself back down in a very nice forest. I've just bushwhacked my way down through that lot, and I've just found my first tree with cut branches. I keep looking at them like these. That's snapped, that's snapped. I keep looking at them, but you can see there's been a lot of something through here because it's cleared right out. So who knows? Either way, I know that down that way is my way back, so that's where I'm going to go. The mystery tour continues. The All Smoke mystery tour, I'm going to call this. I didn't get to the top of All Smoke Mountain, that's for sure. I could see it in the distance, but I just didn't want to walk the extra bit in the wind and the heat and getting tired. So I thought, no, turn around, come back, and yes, what an amazing little walk through the forest. Absolutely brilliant. Right, I will continue that way. Right, just stopped for another water break. It just come down through there. Yeah, gonna head on down here. Taking it a little bit slow. I'm just going to swap hands here. As you get older, going uphill, believe it or not, although it's hard work, is actually easier on the feet and the knees than it is coming down. I did pull something in my knee the other week. Tripped over a bloody tyre of all things. And I pulled something, a medial meniscal tear or whatever they call it, I don't know. Either way, my theory is if I keep moving, it'll make it better. So, apparently when I read up, when I went to my doctors, i.e. Dr. Google, my doctor just retired, which is a pain in the rear end, but he deserves his retirement. He's worked a long time. So either way, when I looked it up, it's basically there's not a lot you can do with it. But, just have to let it get better. But if you just sit still, you ain't going to do it no good whatsoever. So this actually looks like there's a creek down the bottom there. Yeah, so I'm just going to work my way down through the forest that way. Just going to follow this ridge a little bit more. There's a well clear area down through here, which is actually very nice. I'm not stepping over crap all the way. And bloody mosquitoes, go away. I will do some more when I get to the bottom of the valley. Oh, as I said earlier, if you want to find your way back to a big river, follow the small rivers. As you can see, this one cut out pretty good, and I guess we'll be in the floods. But I'm starting to flatten out a little bit here, so I may be getting in the bottom of the valley. But my theory is, if I follow this, I'll end up at Ware Creek. So I couldn't really hear the creek much out in the open there because the bloody wind was so strong, it was howling in the trees. It's a very similar sound, so I will take that. Isn't that nice? And there's kind of a deer trail down through here. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it clear as a bell. It goes down through here. So deer obviously come this way as well, so I will follow them and see where they go. Right, well, I just found a very nice piece of trail there. I found another nice meadow, and I found a corral. In the middle of what I thought was nowhere, I found a corral. That rope doesn't look that old either. That doesn't look that old. So, clearly somebody comes up in here. I've seen some chainsaw cuts over there on a tree. So clearly somebody comes through here. Not sure where, when and how, but my way back is still that way. I have no idea where this horse trail goes. Couldn't even tell you. I know it doesn't go the way I want it to go. Look at that bloody corral in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. There's a fire pit site here. This was an old fire pit site that hasn't been used in a long time. Even some firewood here, look. We've got some cut up firewood. That's all overgrown and rot, so that's been there a very long time. Yeah. So at some stage or other, this is an important area. Right, so the sun is over there and the creek's still flowing that way, so I still need to follow the creek, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out these bloody mosquitoes, that's for certain. Well, this has now turned into a very well trodden trail that goes down the side of the creek. So keep seeing saw cuts too, so they're old saw cuts, so nothing's used this too recently. I did see some cow crap just now. It wasn't fresh, but yeah. Let's follow it, see where it goes. The mystery continues. Something's been down through here. See that? This is fresh track. That's deer. So it looks like deer track. Yeah. So, yeah. But at least it's not. Oh yeah, it is deer track. That. See, there. Yeah. Well, I'm going to follow this because I know it's going in the direction I want it to go. I'm curious as to where it's going to come out. Let me see. Now then, would you believe it? This is the cut line. This is what I was looking for. You go across here, just up around that little corner a little bit, and then round, and that takes you to the top of All Smoke Trail. That up in there takes you to that very nice camp that I just found up in there. I don't think they've been up in there for a while because the horse people, sometimes the horse prints can be a pain in the arse, but the horse people do keep the trails good and they always have a chainsaw with them. And I can tell you now that hasn't been cleared out for a while. But this is the creek crossing. Just the other side of this creek on the left hand side is 58A. Just up around that corner. So the ridge I was on was actually, I don't know, I think it was probably one ridge over from the All Smoke Ridge. Either way, I found a very nice place. And this is the cut line. So down through there, heading back towards, because I can see the cut block up through there. So what I'm going to do, instead of going up that hill, I'm just going to cut my way through here and go with that. Well, I'll be. I ended up exactly where I wanted to be. This is the cut line. No wonder I couldn't see it. Normally if you stand on a cut line, you can see it just extends for miles and miles and miles in each direction. But look at it. I can see a little bit of it there. But that's it. That's all I can see. So when I came up here, through the trees, I came up over that way somewhere, cut through that top and then through that piece of meadow. Yeah, bypassed this altogether. Couldn't even see the cut line. I can see why now. Cut line's crap. Yeah, hasn't been cleared out in here for a long time. But that's the creek. Get off, flies. That's the creek that goes down to Ware Creek if you follow it. This piece down through here is my cut off corner, so I'm not going to do the old 56A. 56A is just the other side of this creek, and then down that way that takes you all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to cut through here, and I'm willing to bet you I end up exactly where I want to be. I missed the cut line. I'm going to show you why. If you look on the map for All Smoke, you'll see it comes up off 56A, and it does kind of a funny little kickback. That, believe it or not, is the cut line. This over here is the little kick in the trail that goes around the corner and then you head up the thing. So I'm just going to go around here just for curiosity now. Yeah. What a pain in the arse. This is the trouble. These trails up in here, they don't get used much. They don't get used hardly at all. Yeah. I'm not sure we haven't got a wild horse up in here, because I just saw that's a horse track. That is a horse track, and it doesn't have shoes on it. That's a horse track. Ah, what'll it be? Okay, finally figured this mess. There's the creek crossing. This is the cut line right through here. You continue along that cut line a little ways that way, and then there's a U-shaped bit that kind of dips down and goes back up and then heads up All Smoke Mountain. So All Smoke is that way. That down there is 56A, because it used to be a road, and 56A, you can clearly see that that was a road down through there, and there are many saw cuts down there, old ones that run down there, and that'll take you all the way down to the bottom to 57. That's where I was the other week. I was down the bottom of that lot. So this is the cut line. No wonder you can't see it. Look at it. I can see it once I get to certain points. I can see the gap. Yeah, I can see the gap over there. I can see the gap through there. See the gap in the trees. See, they then go all the way to the top. Yeah, that's cut line right there. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, that's quite the mess, isn't it? Right. I'm going to find somewhere to sit down, probably by a creek, I think, and have something to eat. Right, as promised, this is the turn off to All Smoke. Looks a little steep, but that is actually the turn off to the All Smoke Ridge. This is the ridge I should have been going up. What I actually did was went up the back side of that ridge, cut across it, and ended up on a smaller ridge. No idea where. I'm going to look it up when I get back because it was actually really nice. It's actually a good trail if you want to do a middle of nowhere trail. You ain't got a clue where you want to go. It's a good place to go. Right, so when you come up from the creek crossing at the bottom on the cut line, this is the cut line, believe it or not. This is why you can't find it. There's a tree across it there. There's a big tree stump. You're going to find 3 of these water scoops, like where they empty out the water and that off the trails. This is the view you should have at your turn off. Yeah, so you come up a fairly thin trail. There's a tree stump. You head up there, a couple of bits of flagging, and then you basically just get off like basically just follow that ridge all the way up to the top. That's where I should have gone this morning, but I could not find this cut line. And as you can see, I mean, look, normally cut lines are very well defined. This one is anything but well defined. So once you go over that little creek crossing thing, you go straight on, don't go around the corner. There's a nice trail goes off to your left. That is 56A. That'll take you back down to Ware Creek. If you come straight on up here, up this little side thing, you go through 3 of these little scoopies, like where they've dug out the water, and then you're going to head up there. That's the beginning of All Smoke Trail up the ridge. Right, I'm going to head down this way, clear out some of this brush. Get off flies, millions of flies up in here. And then I'm going to head on back out of here. Right, down I go. So just going to recap. That's where you come across the creek crossing. Off fly. That is 56A down there. Follow that down. That'll take you all the way down to Ware Creek. Straight on up through there where the flagging is. There's a small bit of trail. You go up there and you'll go over 3 bumps, like where they have the water drainage off the trail. 3 like little scoops. On the 3rd scoop on the right hand side, you'll see a piece of flagging that goes off up the side. That is your way up All Smoke Ridge. Right, now I'm going to head back. I could go that way, but I know it's wet in the bottom there and I don't have my welly boots on. So I'm going to try and find the DAF and simply this thing saying the preferred new route. So we will see how preferred it is. 56A comes up this side of the creek, and the preferred route leads down the other side. So we get back across here again without falling in, being attacked by a million flies. What did we have? We really don't want wet feet. There we go. Right, so in the little map thing they sent me, the preferred route trail, as they say, goes off here somewhere, this side of the creek, because that up there is the what's the name across here, the clear cut. Get off there. I've just lost a layer because I was really hot. So what I'm thinking is I will find a way down through here. That looks like a deer trail. I will find a way down through there, and I think that will probably turn into the new route. Right, let's go that way, see what I can find. I figured out where I went wrong. These trees, these cut off trees, they go all the way up, and there is a cut line. You cross a cut line, but the cut line is so hard to see. I actually went right across it. Just over here on the side, I've just walked 100 feet, 200 feet through a piece of forest, cut that corner right off to by the water creek there. You can hear it here. So I've just put 2 little bits of orange tape in the tree there. If you head in there and just follow it up, there's an amazing cow trail. This brings you up in here. Look at these seagulls. Millions of them up in there. They're all after the bugs. So you just eat as many of them bugs as you can, because if you look up here, you can see the trees that are cut off in the middle. Yeah. That you can follow those trees all the way up to the cut line, but the cut line is very hard to find. It's not as well defined as most cut lines. So that's why I missed it. Normally I can spot a cut line a mile away, but just over here there's a couple of bits of tape there. Head down into the forest. The trees, cut off trees, continue up that way. Just up in those trees, just ahead of there, in those aspens, that's where the cut line is. But you can't see it. It's a bit of a bloody mess. So I'm going to cut across here. Hopefully these seagulls would have eaten every one of these bloody mosquitoes by the time I get there, although I'm having my doubts. And I will get back onto where the cut off trees are. Right, let me head up there and get back onto it and go from there. Right, just going to review this. I'm on the trail. We cleared it out. There's a group of aspens, and the trail trees continue just over there. Just through those trees is where the cut line is. Well, I missed it. I went up through there. Actually, where I went was up that ridge there, all the way to the top. And there's those meadows that I went through, and there's another meadow around the other side. Very nice trail if you want to explore that one. I have no idea what the hill's called, but certainly a great place to explore. Now, when you get to here, there's one tree there, that one. It's kind of leaning over. If you look down to the left from that one and just walk down through the slash, you'll find those two pieces of orange tape. I can see them from here, straight down in the middle there. That cuts that corner right off. The cut line is literally just through these trees here, literally right in these trees, and goes up across there. And the ridge you want for all smoke is actually that ridge right there, that one. So what you do, you go across that little wet crossing, which is just here. You go up, go straight on a smaller trail. There's a nice wide trail which takes you all the way down to 57, which is down in the bottom of there. You don't want to go that way. So over the wet bit, straight on the smaller trail, 3 little humpies, and that gets you onto that ridge there, and then you follow that ridge, and then it goes all the way up and around the corner. Where I went was up top of that one. So I have no idea what that ridge is called, but I can tell you now, anybody that likes exploring and just heading out in the middle of nowhere, I wasn't the only person who ever gone up there, because I did find that one tree with a few saw cuts on it. That is it. That's, and at the top there's a little rock pile, so obviously other people, it's fairly steep in there, but yeah, there's an interesting walk. It's like what I call a Kananaskis walk. It's like a wander around and see what you can find kind of thing. Yeah, but the trail down through to cut that corner off is literally just down through there. There's a piece of orange tape in a little tiny tree, and there's another piece on a downed log. Just walk through there. There's a well-trodden cow trail all the way through there, straight through, out the other side. Job done. Yeah, you're on the cut line. But I actually went that way and completely missed the cut line. Right, what I'm not missing is being eaten alive by a million bugs, which is what all these seagulls are here for, I suspect. So carry on eating them, seagulls, because the more you eat, the less I have to put up with. So there's thousands of seagulls in here. Look at this. Yeah. Right, I'm going to continue. I'm going to follow these posts all the way back. I have to keep moving because these flies are just going to eat me alive. And here I am back down the bottom in the crescent shaped meadow. That sun out there is brutal. That's hot. Yeah. Right, well, that was a very interesting day. Didn't end up going up the ridge I thought I was going to go up, but I ended up going up a ridge I know I'm never going to climb again. Yeah, so you get to see these places. I've got to look it up on the map, see if it's got a name. I'll give it a mention if it has. No idea. That was actually amazing views from the top. It kind of ends at like a small cliff, probably about a 40-50 foot cliff. And it's actually very nice. It's actually a good trail up in there. Yeah, but it wasn't the one I was looking for. But I did clear out a bit of the all smoke one to make it more blatant bloody obvious. The bit that made that whole trip difficult is you can't see the cut line very well now. Once you're through this cut block and you run out of these wooden posts that have been cut off, start looking very, very closely for a cut line, because it will go off there. It kind of goes left and right, cuts across the trail, so you do have to look very closely for it. But once you're through where these trees are all cut off, it's literally right in front of it. If you go through an area and you find yourself in another cut block that has no cut off post, you've gone too far. That's what I did. I ended up going into the wrong piece there. So I assumed I was still in the same cut block, but I wasn't. The corner that I cut off to go through actually was where I needed to be. Can you believe it? Yeah, not often I miss a cut line, but that one was not very clear at all. Right, now I'm back in. This is the crescent shaped grass bit that you see on Google Maps, with the non-forest off to that side. A million flies. These little black flies are a pain in the arse, and mosquitoes are bad enough, but I put bug spray on, but half of them immune to that crap, I think. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, it's nice to be on flat ground. I can walk nice and slow now. It's nice and flat. It's easier on the feet, easier on the knees, that's for sure. Yeah. As you get older, these things they tend to hurt more. But I'm gonna take the shady route There's a well-trodden cattle trail through here. Yeah, very well trodden. So we will follow this up and get back onto the old 57. Right, I'm back out in the meadow. Looks like all the cows have moved off into the shade on the trees on the side there. There's a whole bunch of cows everywhere. The only thing down here, you've got to keep your eyes open now, because normally when there's big fuzzy coloured things running around, you've got to keep your eyes real peeled. But down in here I happen to know there's like 200 cows in here now. Right, Porta Potty Corner's all been cleaned up. That's all gone. Yeah. Well, I think it was probably the ranchers setting up in here for the summer grazing season. Right, I now have to run the gauntlet of the relentless moos and stampeding out of my way. So they're over here. Look at the seagulls down in here. Yeah, it looks like the cows have moved on to the drier grass in the trees there, or more succulent, I guess. It's more shady in there. They like the shade, same as I do. So there's a couple of them watching me now. They're guard cows. Yeah. And this one that's facing me will start mooing up a storm in a minute. You watch. Oh, there's another one watching me. Yeah, they can hear you. You'll be surprised. These things can hear you from a very long way away. Yeah. Generally speaking, they don't bother you if you don't bother them. They got young with them. Stay away from the calves. You won't have any trouble with them. They're more worried about you than you are about them. So, right, I will continue on my way. That is the end of my trail. Back through the meadow. And I'll do some more when I get right back over the other side. Look at a video of some of these birds. Look at this. This is how nature takes care of the problem. Right. You've got a glut of bugs. Along comes a flock of birds to clear them up. Yeah, all the cows over there. Only one mooed. They mooed up a storm this morning when I came through, but that was because it was fairly early, I guess. These guys are literally, they're just picking bugs out the air. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, well, you just keep eating them. Like I said earlier, the more they eat, the less I have to worry about. Look at it. There's thousands of them. They look like seagulls, and they've got black head. So I'm going to say they're black-headed seagulls. Now, anybody watching this that knows better, let me know, because look at this. They're very acrobatic. They're just pulling these bugs out of the air like they're nothing. Woohoo, got another one. Yeah, keep going. They must eat literally tens of thousands of bugs in a day. Yeah. Very important to graze these areas. So the cows are all over there hiding in the trees. It's nice and shady in there. Yeah. So let's just recap. The hill I went up was that one over there with the big tall trees on the top. One I should have gone up is that one over there with a roundy top. And as you can see, the clouds are starting to build. Although on a forecast around here it will show beautiful sunshine the whole day. If you're going to do stuff like this, get up early, get out there, because you don't want to be up on the top of the mountains when we get our thunderstorms come through. And I can see them brewing. One there, one there, one there, one there. They're all rolling off the mountains, because the mountains, they chuck all the air up there. There's a lot of moisture in it. All bubbles up with the heat. Hey presto, thunderstorms. And in a big clear meadow like this, or on top of a mountain, not somewhere you want to be when there's lightning flying around. So I've just got about another half a kilometre to go back across here, back to the parking area, and I'll do a recap when I get there. Right, I need to get out this heat. It's hot. Got my hat back on. See? Got my hat on. Yeah. It's not often you'll see me wearing my hat, because it's actually pretty hot. But on a day like this, it makes a huge difference. Right. It's my buddy 80%. It's a crap hat. Right. I'm going to end up going that way. Right. And here I am back at the gate. That'll be the end of my trip for today. Thanks for coming along up the wrong hill. But I'll tell you what, that's how you find stuff. I found a corral, I found some amazing views. I had no idea those place was up there. No idea at all. We've got a cow coming across there. Why do we have a cow coming across there? Is that a cow? No, that's not. That's somebody's dog. Yeah, that's somebody and their dog up there, I was going to say. A large brown four-legged thing coming out of the forest over there. That's a dog. Yeah, and there's a guy walking over there in a white shirt. Wouldn't have my dog running loose up in here, but yeah, you're not really supposed to, but whatever. Right, my way back is this way. Over that bridge. There's a parking area just over that bridge. Go over through there. That'll be me done for the day. Job done. Thank you for coming along.